Welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm your entrepreneurship tutor, Professor Henry Bwisa of Jomo Kenyatta University of Agriculture and Technology. Today, I want to talk about the Hustler Fund. Yes, the Hustler Fund. Finally, the Kenya Hustler Fund is here. The president has given directives. Now let's listen to him.
In the short term, the assignment Eliud Owalo and my good friend Professor Njuguna will have is to structure with yourselves the Hustler Fund. We are ready to commit public resources to underwrite some of the risks so that chamas, cooperatives, SACCOs can access credit at single-digit interest rate.
Yes, the Hustler Fund is one more fund, such fund that the country has had. The list of funds targeting Kenya's SMEs in one way or another include the Youth Enterprise Development Fund in 2006, Women Enterprise Fund 2007, Uwezo Fund 2014, and now the Hustler Fund 2022. Now, on 24th June 2022, a question was posed at that site. Why Kenyan startups fail despite generous funding? So even with the funds, Kenyan startups do fail. And at that site, that source, reasons why small business fail have been given. Among them, we are first of all told, even with the availability of the funds listed above, 20% of Kenya's small business fail within their first year. 30% fail before the end of the second year. 50% fail by the end of the fifth year. And by the end of the 10th year, only 30% are operational, making 70% failure. Other non-financial factors must be contributing to the failure. So the funds alone may not, well, they may be necessary, but may not be sufficient. So, can the Hustler Fund be more innovative to reduce the failure rate? At that source, factors which cause the failure of small medium enterprises were elaborated on by none other than the Kenya Agribusiness and Agro-Industry Alliance, the CEO, Lucy Mchoki, Madam Lucy Mchoki. She correctly puts up, there is no entrepreneur who starts an SME with an intention to fail, but there is failure to plan, lack of technical know-how, poor viability assessment, risks identification and assessment is poor, market identification and appropriately stored finances, which are critical for success, are also inadequate. So, observed Madam Lucy. And at this source, another 6 reasons why small business fail in management. 1. Failure to pay attention to the buyer persona, ignoring aspects like niche building. Failure to prioritize market research. Lack of innovation. Lack of effective marketing skills. Under delivering value, value propositions poor. Inability to find the right target audience. Lack of originality and passion. Not keeping up with the competition. Lack of competitive strategies. And my own research Many Kenyans are ill-prepared to run a business. Some start businesses on a Me Too syndrome, others on trial basis. Many go into businesses after having failed to get wage employment or even dropped out of school. Some have been fired, or some are already tired and retired. Now, all this creates an unnecessary competition, which then consumes our businesses. So the bottom line for me is that there is no or weak entrepreneurial culture. People go to business as a second thought. It is not in their blood that they want to do business. There is no or limited entrepreneurship skills. Some go into business as business people, not as entrepreneurs. Of course, there is a difference. Let's see. Entrepreneurship skills are necessary, not just for Kenya, but indeed for Africa and globally. Now, all entrepreneurs are business people, if you ask me, but not all business people are entrepreneurs. And those who survive in business, most of those who survive are actually entrepreneurs. There were. You can see the big blue circle is business people. The yellowish circle is entrepreneurs. And clearly, therefore, Kenya has more business people and even entrepreneurs than entrepreneurs. Training learnees in entrepreneurship will develop entrepreneurial mindsets and improve business survival. Yes. Compare. This is a business person up there buying at 50, selling the same, only 75, probably different location. But an entrepreneur will add value, not sell the same, improve it, be different, make juice, and sell at 200. The businessman gets like 25, the entrepreneur gets 100. Yes, a question was posed. What is more important, making money or solving a problem? The business person will want to make money. The social worker will want to solve a problem. But the entrepreneur will make money through solving a problem. Not that. And of course, there's a difference and similarities between the SMEs and entrepreneurial ventures. The SMEs, micro, small and medium enterprises, largely, they have little or no innovation and growth. They start on duplicated ideas. Entrepreneurial ventures, based on innovation and growth, go in on new, fresh ideas or improved ideas, improved businesses. But of course, both of them make profit, create employment, create economic development and transformation. Now for the entrepreneurship policy. Look, the interface of SME and entrepreneurship policy, which have adapted from Lundstrom and Stevenson of 2005. Here is the entrepreneurship policy, the pinkish one. Creating entrepreneurial culture. The SME policy, supporting existing firms to grow or expand. Then there is interface, helping startups. So entrepreneurship policy starts at the awareness phase, making people aware. Long before they go into business, they are aware of entrepreneurship, they are aware of business, how to run that business, how to go into that business. Then they become nascent. They now want to go into it, and then they go in the startup phase. These people who started at that early stage are likely to succeed. But then there is others who just started at the startup phase. They are outside the entrepreneurial phase. Post-startup phase, maintenance and expansion. That is supporting the existing farms to grow and expand. That is SME policy. So, if we can take selected aspects of MSE and entrepreneurship policy, tells that the outcome of SME policy is existing farms to grow, but entrepreneurship policy, the national entrepreneurial activity growth. The goal of SME policy is to create a favorable business climate, but for entrepreneurship policy, it's create an entrepreneurial climate and culture. The objective of SME policy largely to help existing individual farms grow, but for entrepreneurship policy is to help the populace learn entrepreneurship. The focus of SME policy largely on farms rather than individuals, but entrepreneurship is on individuals rather than farms. At what business stage do they operate? The SME policy primary focus is on support after the business has actually started. But in entrepreneurship policy, support is offered in the nascent stages as well as during the critical first years of startup. Some selected policy priorities for SME: reduced red tape for existing SMEs, but for entrepreneurship, reduced barriers to business entry. For SME priority, improve access to growth financing, but entrepreneurship policy facilitate access to startup financing. Traditional SME policy, a priority, facilitate access to markets like tariff reductions, export subsidies, etc., etc. But entrepreneurship facilitate networking activities and exchanges to promote peer learning, partnering, and dialogue. The policy levers for SME: use of financial fiscal incentives, but for entrepreneurship policy, greater use of non-financial levers. And finally, time period for the results to get results. Well, SME policy, immediate, aims for results over a 3 to 4 year cycle. But for entrepreneurship policy, long term. So process and perspective requires time. Now, let's now listen to economist Professor Ndii, popularly thought to be the brains behind the Hustler Fund.
How are we going to empower the small businesses and our people in the lottery economy? business than the people at the top.
It would appear to me that the Hustler Fund has not exhaustively taken aboard the non-financial factors of success discussed above, so the fund may risk repeating the mistakes that others made. Could there be an add-on aspect to make the Hustler Fund different? This is my proposal. Yes, we have the Hustler Fund. I will propose short-term or immediate and long-term aspects. For immediate, yes, as Professor Ndi explains, through circles, whatever loans can be given. But as we give loans, remember the factors that we already saw that kill small businesses, the non-financial factors. So give loans and train loanees. This will improve business mortality. What types of training? Generate your business idea. So people generate a viable, innovative business idea as they take the loans, those who have not started businesses. Start your business training, improve your business, expand your business. These are some of the few trainings that can go hand in hand with the loans so that the loans are not diverted, they are not wasted, and so on. But for long term, we need to set up entrepreneurship policy. The fund can be utilized to make up that policy. We need to popularize role models, successful entrepreneurs, so that they become role models for the upcoming, for nascents. We need to introduce appropriate entrepreneurship educational or training courses at all levels. We need to introduce appropriate business incubation centers. So, as much as we plan to give loans, giving loans alone, we have seen from the past that money alone, loans alone, are not the cause of business failure, the 70% failure that we saw. Thank you for listening. Please leave a comment. I'm your professor of entrepreneurship, Professor Bwisa. You can reach me at wihem@gmail.com. Thank you.